Hello, welcome. This is Blockchain Bloom, the blockchain educator. I'm Attila Pinkin. In today's video, I'm going to talk about that the changes could come at the Fed, which could change a lot of things, can devalue the US dollar, and actually could be good for crypto. But what I'm talking about, I'm going to show you in a second. Also, don't forget, we have the FOMC meeting today. It's 2 p.m. Eastern time. And also, let's talk about a couple of important things, how, Bitcoin is changed over the years. A lot of things. I think it will be an important episode. And I don't even want to say now more. Don't forget, every single day, I bring you the freshest cryptocurrency and blockchain news here on Blockchain Bloom to keep you up to date. So if that's important, simply subscribe to this YouTube channel, hit the like button if you like these kind of contents. And now, let's do it. Okay, and as usual for the start, we can see that Bitcoin is basically up 0.8%. With that, the Bitcoin price $116,462 US dollar. Ethereum about 0.5% down, $4,485 US dollar. And top gainer MYX up 55%, Story up 7%, and ATH up 6%. Then we have losers, 5% Monero down, Ondo 3%, ENA 3%. When we're looking at the Bitcoin candlestick chart, we can see that Bitcoin is starting to go up again. So this is the weekly here. We expect volatility, obviously, because today we're going to have the FOMC meeting. It's coming up. So in about, when I'm recording this video, like 7 hours time. So bottom line is, what's going to happen at the FOMC meeting, it would be very, very important. Probably a rate cut's going to happen, 25 basis points, and then what is Jerome Powell saying after that? But now I would like to talk about something else, and this is a change which could come to the Fed, and this can actually also change the people approach towards other assets, and for example to crypto as well. So here we go. What we had so far, we had this dual mandate thing with the Fed. And now a third mandate from the US Federal Reserve could change long-term monetary policy if actioned, which could be bad news for the dollar, but good news for crypto. So the Fed has long been considered to have a dual mandate: price stability, that was the number one, or one of them, and another one is maximum employment. But President Donald Trump picks the Fed Governor Stephen Miran and cited a third mandate earlier this month, sparking speculation on the future of central bank monetary policy. The third mandate is a statutory requirement buried in Fed's founding documents, which states that the central bank actually requires three objectives. So maximum employment, price stability, and moderate long-term interest rate. And basically, what will happen? That means if the Fed would like to fight inflation, they will have trouble to increase the interest rate. So in long term, basically, they should keep it definitely low, which actually could be good, for crypto, for even for the stock market, obviously. Because, what the Fed will do probably starts to buy bonds and so on and so forth. So if this, actioned, then actually this can change a couple of things, can change the game. And so interesting. And now, Donald Trump is the one who would like to pick the next Fed chairman. Jerome Powell, we're going to have him, if everything works out, at the latest next May in 2026. And after then, someone new who probably Donald Trump going to choose will be the next Fed chair, who is probably going in the direction what Donald Trump wants. He started the presidency early this year. So basically, he has plenty of time to go. And if you're going in that direction, that actually can boost the market in the future. Of course, we can have our, bear market and cycle things and all these kind of things what we have in crypto. But maybe that bear market won't be that deep or that long. So that could be actually an interesting thing. This is just about the same thing. And looking at US dollar, when US dollar has now lost more than 10% of its value this year. So this is actually crazy. So, since the Fed was established, it lost 90% of its value, but from that even lost more just in this year. And if these kind of things are happening, the value of the US dollar will be less and less, and then people going to look for other alternatives. Today, as I said, we're going to have, the announcement will be like 2 p.m. Eastern time, that it's happening or not, the interest rate cut. Probably now we go for 25 basis point. I'm looking at this one now, 96% is saying it's going to be like 25 basis point. And then the press conference is going to start at 2:30 p.m. Eastern time. And that will be also a very, very important one. What is Jerome Powell saying? How he's talking about what will be the tone? Meanwhile, when we're looking at, we have again inflows into Bitcoin spot ETFs, also in Ethereum spot ETFs. However, yesterday, it's changing. We had some tiny outflows, 61 million, but before it, 569 million inflow, then 405 million. So yeah, you can see that one as well. And look at this one. Crypto treasuries doubled, basically 25 billion US dollar. And here you can see how it was like in Q1 2024, Q3, now Q1. So it was Bitcoin. But now recently in Q3, 54% was Ethereum. And then some others came up also, Solana, BNB. So now we can see the shift, not just Bitcoin, but also, altcoins are happening. And when we're looking at the big picture of Bitcoin, because there's the hunt for accumulate more, in 2010, excuse me, we had 15% of Bitcoin in circulation, and 85% was waiting to be mined. In 2015, just 32% was waiting to be mined. 68 was in circulation. And then in 2020, we talked about already 14% with a new category, which is illiquid supply. Then we had, 12% still be mined, much less in 5 years later, 73 in circulation. And now the illiquid has increased to 25%, just 5% left to be mined, and 67% is, liquid supply. Which means that probably this illiquid supply going to grow, and of course this percentage is going to go down, which will be still mined. So less will be available and be liquid supply. And by the way, when we're looking at September so far, then so far so good, to be honest with you. Just like last year, actually, very, very close to it. And interestingly, when September was good, every single time we had October and November to be good. So yeah, maybe it will continue, and then maybe it's August will be the new one, which is bearish. In the past was September. Now in the last 4 years, it was rather August than September. So yeah, interesting times. Definitely, guys. Today, FOMC meeting. There could be some volatility at the market, I believe. This is what we should watch. And yeah, as you can see, Bitcoin holding itself still pretty well. So don't forget, every single day, I'm bringing you the freshest cryptocurrency and blockchain news here on Blockchain to keep you up to date. So if that's important, simply subscribe to this YouTube channel, hit the like button if you like this kind of content, and see you in the next one. Have a good one. Bye-bye.